Satana, Ave Satana, Ave Satana.
Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio on December 17, 1936 in Buenos Aires, Argentina, is the current Pope of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City-State. Elected as Pope on March 13, 2013, he has become prominent figure not only within the religious sphere but also in global politics and social issues. As the first Jesuit pope in over a millennium, his background as a member of the Society of Jesus, an order known for its intellectual rigor and commitment to social justice, has influenced his papacy significantly. Pope Francis is often associated with a more compassionate and inclusive approach to Catholicism, emphasizing mercy, humility, and dialogue rather than doctrinal orthodoxy. His pontificate has been marked by several significant events and initiatives. He launched the Jubilee Year of Mercy December 8, 2015, November 20th, 2016, emphasizing God's mercy for all people regardless of their religious beliefs or actions. In addition to this, he has been a vocal advocate for environmental protection and social justice issues such as immigration reform and the fight against poverty. Pope Francis is also known for his simple lifestyle choices, living in modest quarters rather than the traditional papal apartments, and choosing to travel economy class instead of using the luxurious apostolic nuntius flights. This humble approach has endeared him to many people around the world who see him as a model of Christian simplicity and service. However, his pontificate is not without controversy. Some critics argue that he has been too lenient on certain moral issues, such as same-sex marriage and abortion, while others question his handling of sexual abuse cases within the Church. His efforts to reform the Vatican bureaucracy have also faced resistance from traditionalist factions within the Church. In terms of prophecy, Pope Francis is said to correspond with the 112th Pope in St. Malachi's Prophecy of the Popes, which predicts a series of popes leading up to Peter the Roman, who will oversee the destruction of Rome. This connection has led some conspiracy theorists to speculate about his role in end-time events and the potential emergence of a one-world religion. In Part 2, we can discuss the following points about what's wrong with Pope Francis. 1. Corruption in apostolic succession. There are concerns that certain individuals within Pope Francis' apostolic succession have been involved with Gnostic heresies and other non-orthodox beliefs, which may compromise his spiritual authority. 2. Handling of clerical sexual abuse scandals. Critics argue that Pope Francis has not done enough to address the ongoing issue of clerical sexual abuse within the Church, leading to a perception of leniency or even complicity in some cases. 3. Political agenda and globalism. Some believe that Pope Francis is pushing a political agenda, particularly regarding globalism and international cooperation, which may be at odds with traditional Catholic teachings on national sovereignty and self-determination. 4. Environmental activism. While environmental concerns are important, critics argue that Pope Francis has focused too much on climate change activism, potentially overshadowing other pressing issues within the Church and the world. 5. Support for the community. Although some see this as a positive step towards inclusivity, others criticize Pope Francis' apparent support for the community, arguing that it contradicts traditional Catholic teachings on marriage and sexuality. 6. Relations with Freemasonry and Illuminati. There are claims that Pope Francis has connections to secret societies like the Freemasons or the Illuminati, which could compromise his spiritual authority and raise questions about his true intentions as a leader of the Church. 7. Influence of Jesuit order. Critics argue that the influence of the Jesuit order within the Vatican may be detrimental to Pope Francis' ability to lead the Catholic Church with complete impartiality given their history and perceived agenda. 8. Censorship on social media platforms. As a prominent figure in today's digital age, Pope Francis has been criticized for his silence or lack of action regarding censorship on social media platforms like YouTube, which he himself uses to disseminate information. This hypocrisy raises questions about the true intentions behind his online presence and engagement with modern technology. 9. Support for United Nations Agenda 2030. Pope Francis' support for the UN's Sustainable Development Goals Agenda 2030 has been criticized by those who believe that this globalist agenda may be at odds with Catholic teachings and could lead to a loss of national sovereignty. 10. Silence on geopolitical issues. Critics argue that Pope Francis has remained silent or ambiguous on certain geopolitical issues, such as the conflict in Ukraine or human rights abuses in China, which may call into question his commitment to upholding Catholic values and defending persecuted Christians worldwide. 11. Inconsistency with previous popes. Pope Francis has been criticized for seemingly contradicting previous popes' teachings on various issues, leading some to question the continuity and stability of church doctrine under his leadership. 12. Alleged financial mismanagement within Vatican City. There are claims that Pope Francis has not done enough to address financial misconduct or corruption within the Vatican, which may undermine his credibility and authority on matters of moral integrity. 13. Influence of occultism in Vatican City. Some sources suggest that there is a growing influence of occult practices and beliefs within Vatican City, potentially compromising Pope Francis' ability to lead the Church with spiritual purity. 14. Alleged connections to deep state or global elite. Critics argue that Pope Francis may be connected to powerful global elites who seek to manipulate world events for their own benefit, which could taint his reputation and influence within the Catholic Church. 15. Lack of transparency in Vatican City. There are concerns about lack of transparency regarding decision-making processes within Vatican City under Pope Francis' leadership, leading some to question whether he is truly acting in the best interests of the Catholic Church and its followers. In conclusion, Pope Francis is an enigmatic figure whose pontificate continues to evolve and shape global religious discourse. His background as a Jesuit, commitment to social justice, and emphasis on mercy have made him a beloved yet polarizing figure in the Catholic Church and beyond.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell to never miss an update. Have a topic you want us to talk about? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the world around you.